1942, Canada detained and deported many people of Japanese descent in British Columbia. This was the start of the Japanese internment. The Japanese people in Canada were constantly being discriminated. However, the Battle of Hong Kong and Pearl Harbor sparked suspicion of the Japanese people. Canadians back home were fearing the people of Japanese origin. On February 24, 1942, Mackenzie King passed a law authorizing the removal of any and all persons, and gave the RCMP the power to search without warrant, set curfews, and confiscate personal belongings. This law was specifically targeted towards Japanese Canadians. On March 16, 1942, the first set of Japanese Canadians were brought off of the coast and into Hastings Park, which was considered a protected area by the Canadian government. Japanese Canadians were detained for the entire duration of the war, which was about 3 years. About 21,000 Japanese Canadians were interned, including men, women, and children. Many of them were born and raised in Canada. Even after the war, there was still hatred and discrimination of the Japanese Canadians. Mackenzie King offered Japanese Canadians two choices. They could either move back to Japan or to provinces east of the Rocky Mountains, outside of British Columbia. He never expressed an apology to the Japanese Canadians. In 1988, Brian Mulroney signed a written apology for Japanese Canadians and a redress of $21,000 for survivors of the internment. He also released a community fund of $12 million to support anti-racism and human rights. The internment of Japanese people in Canada was significant in history. Canadians felt threatened in this time of crisis, even though our society today believes that this is awfully wrong to do. Canadians put many Japanese people through stress and torture they did not need to endure. However, all Canada wanted was to prevent another attack that could have cost them victory in World War II.